This is some bull. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be discussing an important topic I think that I previously discussed in my channel, but more of like a general overall thought. As you can see by the title, I will be talking about my experience, or like what it's like being a black K-pop stan. I think primarily because of the whole YG leak and Kiss of Life situation. I think it was important that I do another K-pop fandom culture video, because I know in my last video I mentioned I would probably do a documentary. I'm still in the thought process of that. I'm still thinking in like ways that I can do like a mini, just like a info documentary, but I'm still working on that. But I just wanted to just have like open discussion, just talking about like the whole YG, giving an overall view or like thought of it, but also saying my thought as a black K-pop fan. But before I start, you know the deal. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Please don't. I've noticed that like 87% of you guys watch my video but are not subscribed. But once again, you taking the day out of your time to watch the video means the world to me. But yeah, let's get started. Guys, before I even start, I know I just did an intro. Before I start anything, I really want to say that if you come across my channel and whatever I say in this video is my thoughts, in my opinion, I don't want to see any hate comments. I think the whole point of this channel, this video, is to kind of have a respectful discussion. I think at the end of the day, like, before anything, I'm black, and I feel like this situation has impacted black K-pop stans for years, and I think I've seen a trend where like every time this happens, like our thoughts and opinions are always dismissed, and it's a point where like I feel like this situation is no excuse. I mean, any other situations happened in the past, there's never been an excuse, but I feel like this, it's like but that's why I wanted to say that first before continuing, because I know there's, like I said in my last video, there's good and there's bad of being being part of a fandom, and that's one of the unfortunate things that happens within this fandom culture when when an idol or a group harm or hurt, they do something that's disrespectful towards the community. Instead of calling them out, I think fans get very defensive and dismiss the people within those communities, like opinions and thoughts and their feelings, and I don't want that to be in my channel at all. I feel like this is going to be an open space where we'll keep everything respectful and mindful. But let's get started. So this whole thing started because one day I'm on Twitter, or X, whatever you call it, and I was just catching up, just catching up on like memes and stuff like that. Then I see this tweet of this person saying, "Oh my god, there's this Discord of this person called YG Leaks, and they were saying that they were a former employee of YG, and they have a lot of information of not only just YG, or like a lot of videos on YG and their idols. They have a lot of other videos of other trainees and other K-pop idols too, from like JYP, HYBE, SM. So this is a big deal for those who are in the K-pop world. Would know why, but for those who are not familiar, it's like as if it's Sony, Jam, Interscope, and Universal. Let's say those four, right? Let's say one quit or they were fired, and then they started a Discord saying, "Oh my god, guys, I have so many information on like Interscope, or so many information of like Universal." I know like some of them are like a sub company within whatever, but I'm just trying to explain it to make it understand this is like a big deal. Like the fact that you have heavy information, or allegedly, and are planning to leak it to millions of people, it's a huge deal. So that's basically some basic way I can describe it. So when I'm seeing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, first of all, I haven't seen some crazy stuff happening in the K-pop world ever since a couple months ago. Second of all, I'm like, okay, like, people say stuff all the time. I like to be in the back of my mind, but I don't know if I should believe it or side eye, whatever. So then, like, I go off of X, I come just watch a show, and then let me open the app again, because I'm like, okay, it's been a minute, I need to open it again. So then I look scrolling, making jokes, and then next thing you know, I see a video, and it's like kind of like the video is kind of like, you can tell it was like from 10 plus years ago. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you recognize that area or like that dance studio, and then you recognize some of the people who were there. You're like, oh, it's Blackpink. And like this was like pre-debut of Blackpink. If you don't know who Blackpink is, you're like the biggest group in the world. So you're watching them dance, you're like, okay, oh my god, they're like trainee days, oh my god, we barely get to see this. Or like, it's so cool. Like, we see some glimpses of it, but this is different. Okay, wow, okay. You see how people improve throughout the 10 years, but it's overall, it's cute and adorable. Then you scroll down, and then you see Jennie. Jennie is one of the members of Blackpink, but also who album is amazing. It's trending all over TikTok, Instagram, whatever. You see her, like, this is like a video for 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago back, and then like she's doing a cover, she's singing, or like, she's rapping. Okay, there was an English song. Okay, and you know it has an N word, but you're like listening. Okay, like okay, yeah. Okay, cool. And then you're like, okay, you know the lyrics to that song because like you grew up listening to that song as well, and you know the N word is about to come up. So I'm like, okay, that's gonna be fine because I know she wouldn't dare to say it. Oh boy, I was wrong. I was so wrong. She said it loud and proud. I have been a stan for 5 years. I've seen so many idols say the N-word and like done some cultural appropriation stuff. I'm like, I feel like we just had this conversation like 3 months ago. What's going on? So I'm like, okay, give me that back in my head. I'll make a move next to video. Then you see Lisa. Oh. Hey Lisa, love the song. Huge fan of her in White Lotus. She's doing an amazing job. So I'm like, okay, this is her like audition cover song, like evaluation. Okay, and the song again. Like, okay, this is the end. We're coming up. Please don't say it. Oh, and again, she said it loud and proud. And I'm like, oh god. I just know Twitter is going to be. I would need a break from Twitter. Because I think there's a joke where people say like if you're a stan of anything, I feel like Twitter is like a space you just don't go for your own mental health. And I'm not even joking. You just don't go to for your own mental health or X because like it's sometimes it can be toxic. But seeing this, you're like, what the heck? This is a lot. And then I see comments, and then I started seeing comments, and like a lot of people are like defending them because I think in my last video, I mentioned that a lot of stans tend to be ride or die, and it's hard for someone to to hold their idol or favorite artist accountable because the fans are so ride or die. It's like they can't see no wrong in their favorite artist. It's like they just said a racial slur that has so many, like, it has like very deep history, and yet you see fans defending them as if it was their job. And I want to make this clear, like I said in my last video, at the end of the day, these artists, they don't care about you. It hurts. It sucks to say that. Trust me. These idols will be fine. They don't need you to defend them. They're rich enough. They'll be just fine. At the end of the day, all you do is pay their bills. I'm not even joking. All you do is pay their bills by buying an album, by buying a concert ticket. Like, and like, it hurts to say that, but because I love, like, I'm a stan. But if realistically speaking, like, they're doing fine. They really don't need you to defend them, especially for something that was clear that they did that they should never have done in the first place. A lot of defense people saying, "Oh no, they were forced to." I feel like you're no. There's no excuse for that. And this is a current, not current. It's always been a thing. And whenever an idol does a cultural appropriation, once again, a black K-pop stan or stan would say this is wrong, and then you have the group of like, no, then I get even. I'm just like, when are we gonna stop this? Like, literally, in my last video, as I mentioned, these idols, they wake up, rehearse, perform, go to bed, and live in a mansion that your money contributes to that. They really could care less. I'm not saying they're like an evil person, like as an individual, but I'm saying that like they're not thinking, oh my god, I want to say thank you so much to, Army 1804 for defending me till the death. Like, no, if anything, they'll be like, okay, I love my fans. I'm gonna give them a tour and do my own thing. I'm not saying this like, like we have to be very realistic about that. We have to be realistic of like knowing that like then stop defending them. They're wrong. It's clear that they said the N-word. Anyone knows the racial history behind it. It's something you just shouldn't say. Stop defending them. They be held accountable for their actions. And this reminded me of the whole and hyphen situation. I don't know if you guys remember. This was like, I was fresh a stan. Like, I was just like a couple months in, figuring things out. This is like, so I'm like, surprised it's not bad. So then, and Hyphen is a group under Hype or Big Hit, which is a company that founded or created BTS. So they were like the up and coming new group, and in Hyphen. And next thing you know, they released like a behind the scene like vlog on YouTube. I think I'm correct. And in the video, you see two of the members. They're sitting on the couch, and then one of them was like humming or singing the words to a SZA song. I can't remember which exact song it is. But in the video, you can hear him saying the N-word. And like, rightfully so, a lot of stans were very upset about that. Because why are you saying the word in the first place? You shouldn't be. It got bad to the point where those fans were like speaking their thoughts, like received a lot of hate and a lot of threats. And to the point where there was a whole campaign of where like other fans were like trying to like say protect Black K-pop stars from speaking their mind, because I think no one should be getting hate for speaking the truth and like talking about their opinions that wasn't disrespectful towards the member. And I think it's very ironic because that same fandom, same group will like tend to protect the artist, but when it comes to idols or actors getting hate for no reason and they self-exit, it's crickets. You don't hear anything. So it's very ironic of that. So it's like when they do something wrong, we can't call them out. But when someone does something that's so small, like they didn't do anything wrong, they're getting like so many hate and like to the point where they have to self-exit. That's unfortunate. No, like it just like you just can't pick or choose a battle. Like it's very weird to me, and I'm very conscious of doing this video because it's like I won't want to get hate, and that's why in the beginning I said please be mindful. It's just this is my thought and opinion about the whole situation. Another thing is, please do not dismiss other Black K-pop stans or K-pop stans who are like have a right to speak on the situation and their thoughts. Do not dismiss their opinion, because I feel that's a trending thing that we see within the K-pop community. It's like someone will express how they feel, especially if they're part of a community that was harmed by the idol, and then people like will bash them. It's like, no, they have a right to speak on it. We're not gonna do that. In 2025, we're not gonna do that. No, because once again, these idols can care less. I think it's be interesting to see, because I didn't even get to the whole Kiss of Life situation. Another situation was another group. It was someone's birthday, one of the members' birthday, and they do a birthday live. If you're not familiar, a lot of K-pop groups, they do birthday lives to celebrate a member's birthday. Sometimes the birthday live would be by themselves. Sometimes the birthday live would be with the group mates. And there's a famous group called Kiss of Life. I am a fan of some of their songs. And this is very sad because this is very like what has happened. And in the video, they're very like the outfits. I'll just take a look.
Who that? 마음에 안 들어. Who that? 자꾸 우리 조이 세게 이렇게 나오는 거 마음에 안 들어. Who that? MP's red.
You guys saw that, a lot of fans were outraged and like very upset. And another thing that I have to talk about is like the way idols apologize because we all know they really don't apologize. Kiss of Life, they made a statement. Actually, let me see if I can read it right now. Kiss of Life. Okay. Hello, this is S2 Entertainment, which is entertainment that is in charge of Kiss of Life. We would like to address the issue that arose context that was uploaded on Kiss of Life's official YouTube yesterday, April the 2nd. We sincerely apologize for causing discomfort to our viewers. The true purpose of this content was to celebrate hip-hop. Sorry, I had to stop because I'm just like, what the heck am I reading? Anyways, to celebrate hip-hop culture where much of the musical inspiration of Kiss of Life comes from. Okay. We apologize for our shortcomings in recognizing the negative culture implications that our content would have been perceived as. Our member and our team promise to approach cultural references with greater caution and respect moving forward, and all related content has been removed from all of our channels. Thank you.
Oh my god. Oh, hell.
Y'all heard that. So once again, it's a cycle. One thing I want to point out, whenever something like this happens, there's always going to be a cycle. The video comes out or whatever comes out, fans are arguing, some are making some valid, fair points, others are just bashing, sending hate. The company will have an apology ready in either 2 to 3 languages, which is going to be English, Korean, and Japanese. And then the apology is going to be the same basic apology, not really apologizing for what was actually done. And then fans are going to move on from this, and then another thing's going to happen. The reason why I'm like, this stuff like this will never stop because people are not held accountable for this. That's why I'm like, at this point, why be a stan? Because it's like, there's a point where we have to stop defending. The collective has to stop defending the people and the actions that they did. No, you did something wrong. You hurt a community. You said a word that's I don't think y'all understand the impact, the importance of the N-word, of not saying it. I don't think y'all. No, y'all do. You guys do. People know, and yet still say it just because it's in a rap song. And I hear the argument saying, "Oh, well, if an artist says it, then no. If Kendrick says it, Kendrick can say it." There's a difference. Me, as a black person, I don't say the word. Just because if someone's like, "Oh, well, you're black," you say, I'm like, "Oh, actually, I don't. Sorry." But that's up to if a person is black, that's up to the individual if they want to say the word or not. But me, I don't, because of how dark the history is in that word. I don't think people understand the impact of slavery. And how it still impacts us till this day in 2025. These idols should not have said it in the first place. There's no excuse. And it's sad seeing fans stick up for them, defending them, but not realizing there would not be no K-pop if it wasn't for black culture. There would be no K-pop. The training process, they got that from Motown. The training process of how an idol is trained for a couple of years before they debut. That was from Motown.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I love Motown. Like, I'm a huge Motown. But what I love about Motown is, I love the music, of course, but I love the infrastructure that was built on Motown. Because if you're an artist, you're going to be an artist. This is what it is to be an actual artist.
Yeah.
And we're going to put you through this regimen, I guess, to be an actual artist.
Yep.
So if you look today at K-pop follows that same Motown structure.
Man, listen.
I'm tell you what.
K-pop, even before like the actual term K-pop, everything was rooted in like R&B. Everything is rooted in R&B.
That's right.
And the formulas that worked. And that's what they done. Like they know how to churn a machine.
They know how to churn. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They are a machine.
Yeah.
Machine.
I think one of the dumbest arguments made by K-pop stans is when they're like, K-pop just started sounding so Western recently. No, it didn't. It always sounded Western. Or I hate when y'all like to ignore the contributions of like the West, especially Black American people in K-pop, y'all. And it's very clear to me that you have not done the required reading to have this conversation because y'all have not listened to first-gen K-pop. One of my favorite first-gen K-pop groups is literally Baby Box, and listen to their music, very R&B-esque. There's this one album where they're like wearing white shirts and like black pants. That is straight R&B just made in Korea, y'all. I'm just like, what are y'all talking about? K-pop didn't just magically sound Western. It's always had Western influence, y'all.
K in K-pop stands for Made in Korea. It doesn't stand for Korean music. It stands for Made in Korea music. When I say Made in Korea, I mean that everything is manufactured there, but I wouldn't necessarily call it Korean. You know, they get different parts from, even they get parts from Korea, you know, a lot of the idols are still from there, even though there's a lot of foreign idols in the industry now, but they get a lot of other parts from different parts of the world and they pull it together, they make it in Korea, but there's nothing Korean about it. Everyone by now should know, or at least most people by now know, that SM Entertainment was literally based on the Motown artist system. It was based on the Motown system, you know, the whole, even down, there was a girl who recently shared some CDs. I think it was like a cassette that her parents had from the Motown era. It was a cassette of the Supremes and they had photo cards in that cassette. So even down to the photo cards, they have literally stolen that idea from Motown. It's not a secret in the industry that the whole K-pop system and K-pop music as a whole is inspired by Black American music, and I would say Black music as a whole, because right now they're in their I'm a piano bag,
But
right?
I can make this video, but we all know what's gonna happen. The same thing's gonna happen, and that's why I look at a bit distance with the K-pop world. Like, I'm not up to date, and part of it because, like, you know, work life, whatever. But the other half is like, why even? Why even? Like, if I'm gonna be disrespected and my people, my culture, are gonna be disrespected nonstop, what's the whole point? That's why I only stand a group that like own up to their stuff. I'm not saying ATEEZ is perfect, but they were like the only group that was like, yeah, we messed up, and we're working on fixing that. And ever since then, I haven't heard anything. And that's the only group I tend to stand. For me, period. But that ends today's video. I hope you guys liked it. I know it got a little bit serious, but don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.